Yeah, it's MoedotJ, and this is episode 5 of the 10-part series of The Last Dance, the Bulls 97-98 road to their second three-peat in 8 years. Hey, it's going to be a good one, but like I always say, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you can get something every time I upload. And hey, I'm not going to hold you up, let's jump right into it. This is episode 5. So episode 5 starts right off with the 98 All-Star Weekend. So with this, we get to actually see where Kobe Bryant gets brought into the whole documentary. So with this documentary, this is Kobe. He's the youngest All-Star ever into the All-Star Weekend. So he's coming out. He gets to meet Jordan. I mean, he's already met Jordan, but you know, this is his first time being an All-Star, and this is probably Jordan's last time being an All-Star, because Jordan has just said, after this season, I don't know if I'm going to play, because we already know that Phil Jackson is no longer coaching after this season. Even if they go 82-0, which they aren't because they started off bad this season. But it's over with. This is probably Jordan's last time he's going to retire. So we get to get introduced into a young Kobe Bryant. So Jordan, of course, he knows everybody. So he's in there, he's meeting everybody, talking to all the other players. And we get to see an interview from Kobe Bryant talking about what he's learned. While they're out there, we all know Jordan, he's the GOAT. There's no question about it. But after him, number 2 is Kobe Bryant. So while they're out there, Kobe, he's holding Michael. And Mike even said in the locker room, he said, man, Kobe's young. He wants to go out there and win. He's just going to push and push. He's going to turn this into a one-on-one game. Mike even said, man, if I'm on the other team, I tell him I'm not passing Kobe the ball no more because he's about to try to take every single shot. There's other players saying, hey, I thought after Kobe missed those first 4 shots, he wasn't going to shoot no more. Jordan's like, first 4? Try about 20. Like, he knew that Kobe was the next him. And Kobe was just out there going at it. But while they were out there, we all know Jordan had a, you know what I'm saying, a little spanking on the backside. Let Kobe know, like, hey, I'm still here. I may be old, but I'm still here. That's just MJ. That's MJ the GOAT. He's here. So the good thing is we actually get an interview from Kobe Bryant, RIP. But so what he says is during the game, he asked MJ, hey, when I'm doing that fadeaway, you know, that turn and fade, that infamous shot, what do I need to do? And MJ pretty much told him, he said a detailed way of how to shoot it and how to make sure that you're going to make it. So Kobe says that everything he's learned from MJ. So if anybody asks him, hey, Kobe, you could beat MJ one-on-one, he's like, everything I learned is from MJ. So to get to my level, I had to learn from MJ. So anything you learn from me, it all goes back to MJ. It just goes back up to everything he learned from MJ. And he said that their bond was so good after he explained to him about the jump shot. Jordan told him, anything you need, don't hesitate, just call me. And they became big brother, little brother. And that's the bond that they had ever since that All-Star game. They became real close and Kobe became his little brother. So now we get the crazy story about how MJ ended up going to Nike and choosing Nike over everyone else. So at this time, all the big basketball players, Dr. J, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, all of them are signed with Converse. And the thing about Converse is MJ just came in. This is 84. He hasn't played any games. And MJ's agent wanted him to have his own signature shoe. His own shoe. So when he went to Converse, they said he's not big enough. We already have the biggest stars in the NBA. So we're not going to put MJ above anybody. So that was out. MJ loved Adidas. He wore Adidas in college. I probably wore them in high school too. But I mean, probably more Chucks and stuff back then. Cause that was the, you know, say in the 70s. But he wanted to wear Adidas. But at this time, Adidas, they just couldn't afford to give nobody that big of a deal. Now they had tennis players, but that wasn't the route that MJ wanted to go. But one thing that they did say was, are you trying to treat him like a tennis player? This is a team sport. It's a team sport. But his agent said MJ is his own person. So he ends up getting an offer from Nike. Disclaimer, Jordan didn't like Nike at all. He didn't want to go. The reason Jordan didn't want to go to Nike is because at that time, Nike was just a running shoe. and they didn't have anything. So Mike, his agent he said he had to force Mike to get on the plane and go, and Mike said he wasn't going. So his mom told him, just go out there and hear what they had. So he ended up going, and the thing is, at that time, players were only getting maybe $100,000 for a shoe deal. Nike offered him $250,000, so it was a no-brainer to go with him. And the crazy thing is, since they were a running company, they had just came out with the air soles that they put in their running shoes. So with that, his agent said, we'll call his shoe the Air Jordan. And that is how Air Jordans were made. Jordan didn't even want to go to Nike, but his mom made him go and just hear him. You know how it is when your mom's with you. Just go. You're going to go and just hear him. Hey, and that's how we got Air Jordans. That is, to me, hearing the whole story, that's just crazy how all that happened. But I'm glad it did, though. The main reason for Jordans to blow up the way they did was because Jordan was balling. It's not like he came out there and was averaging 5 or 6 points a game. He was balling 29, 30 points a game. Like, that's what he was averaging. So everyone's seeing is like, hey, man, this dude, he's flying, you know what I'm saying? He's jumping. The crazy thing about Nike is they expected in the first 4 years to only sell 3 million shoes. In the first year, they sold 120 million shoes. Let that sink in. They only wanted to sell 3 million in 4 years. That's what they were expecting. They ended up selling 120 in the first year. And the reason it got so big is because black culture took it in. And Spike Lee was the number one driver in black culture, pushing it, putting it in all his movies. Like, do the right thing. Everyone was wearing J's. They had celebrities on here. Nas, Justin Timberlake. When you were growing up, you wanted that Jordan. That Jordan, it was the first shoe that go from being an on-court shoe to being something you could wear off and be stylish. You had to have a pair of J's. They were $100 back then. I know they're like $200, $250 now, but that just shows you like how much they increased. And Jordan's the number one selling shoe as far as basketball wise, still to this day. So Jordan has always said that Madison Square Garden, New York, is the mecca of basketball. So for his first game ever that he played in Madison Square Garden, he had his Jordan 1s on. So for his last game in '98, he had to put the Jordan 1s on. He was going off. I'm talking about, he was just balling. This is his last game in the Garden. You got to ball. Like, what else can you do up there? So it was so crazy. Spike Lee's on the side. You know him and Spike are real good friends. So he's telling Spike, come on out here, try to hold me, because he's just going off. But the only thing that I took from this that was crazy is, so the shoes that he had were too small. But he had already laced them up and he was having a good game. So he said by halftime, his feet were bleeding. But he didn't take the shoes off because he was having a good game. So he ended the game with them. And when he said he finished the game and took them off, his socks were soaked with blood. But that's just MJ's competitiveness and a little superstition. Like, hey, I'm doing good in these. I'm just going to keep hooping and I ain't going to take them off. As soon as I put them on, I'm like, oh no, someone got to give me another pair of shoes. Bring me them 13s I was going to wear because these things hurt. So the 92 finals, they take us back. Chicago Bulls versus the Trailblazers. Magic Johnson was covering the game. He said the night before game 1, he was at Mike's house playing cards with him. And Mike told him, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to go at Clyde. I'm going to get Clyde. Now, MJ even said it himself that Clyde was a pretty good player. Like, he's an NBA great. But the thing that made Jordan want to go off on him is because they compared them two together. They said they're similar players. Now, Jordan gave him his credit and said, Clyde is real good. Don't think he's not a threat, but he's not me. So what he did was he went out there and he just gave it to, when I'm talking about he was going in on Clyde, Clyde didn't want no parts of him. Jordan set the finals a record for 3-pointers at the time. He had, 6 in that game? He had 34 and a half, and we know he went on to win his second title. They beat them 4-2, but MJ was not playing around. He didn't want to be compared to someone he knew he was better than. But that's just his competitive nature. He still had respect for Clyde, but he's just saying, hey, we're not on the same level. Let's cut that out right now. Hey, they went on to win their second championship. So right after winning this is MJ's second finals MVP, second MVP season. They ask him, hey, are you going to try to be on the Olympic team? And MJ's like, when is it, a week from now? They're like, yeah. He said, well, I got a lot of partying to do between here and now. So this will be the first year that the Olympic team, the U.S. team, is allowing NBA players to be on it. Usually it's just college players that come up. We still have this is the Olympic team. When you hear USA team, it's still like a lot of college players on it. And then the Olympic team now is NBA players. But this is the first year, and hey, man, there's a lot of controversy on what went on like why Isaiah wasn't on the team. But MJ breaks it down, and he says it wasn't because of me. Like, he respects Isaiah. He says Isaiah is the second greatest point guard ever behind Magic. He respects his game. But other people are saying it's because Isaiah got into it with Magic. He got into it with Bird. He got into it with Pippen. He got into it with Jordan. So that's the reason he wasn't on the team, because everyone needed the camaraderie so they could win these championships. This gold medal. So that's the real reason that Isaiah got snubbed. But Jordan said, if y'all want to put the blame on me, then hey, I can take the blame, man. It's not a big deal. I respect Isaiah's game, even though I hate him. I respect his game. Like, he still hoops. You know what I'm saying? So at this time, man, this is the infamous Olympics practice. So they just going at it. Both teams going at it. Everyone was just jawing at each other because you got all the greats on the court at one time. So it's pretty much an all-star game. But this time it's for real. We're really playing for something. Not just some all-star game, the East one, the West one. No, we playing for the country. We playing for a gold medal. So everyone's competing. And Magic and MJ, they get into it. Magic going at Jordan. Jordan's going at Magic. And Magic just, you know what I'm saying? Like, how we see it today. All of the, I won't say celebrities because they're all celebrities. All of the superstars, they get all the calls. And they called a foul on Jordan. And Magic's going off. Like, he gets all the calls. It's just like in the NBA, man. They just moved the Chicago Stadium over here. And Jordan's pretty much like, oh, this is the 90s. Pretty much what he's saying is, hey, your era's over. I'm the man. Like, they going to give me the calls because I'm the man now. Jordan, they went on to win their game against Magic, Chuck. But, hey, Jordan was pretty much telling you, hey, I'm the man. Shh. So now we get to see the Olympic team play against the Croatian team. And a lot of people didn't know that Toni Kukoc played for the Croatia team. So at this time, his country is going through a civil war. Croatia, Slovenia, it was all in a place called Yugoslavia. They had a civil war. They ended up breaking up. So Jerry Krause, the evil GM, drafted Kukoc in 1990. But Kukoc stayed in Croatia because he didn't want to just leave his family and stuff while it was going on. So he had his rights were with the Bulls, and Jerry Krause kept saying Toni Kukoc is the future of the Bulls while he had Jordan and Pippen. So when Jordan and Pippen, they played against him the first time, they told everyone on the team, no one hold Kukoc. We're going to hold him. We're going to show Jerry that he's not better than what you already have here. Stop trying to look for something else when you have the golden ticket right here. We just won back-to-back championships, bro. Like, this dude won't be the future. So the first game they played him, they locked him up. Halftime, 0.0 rebounds. They were on him. Kukoc, he was like, man, I didn't know that they played basketball that physical and they were up that close on people, like when they played their defense. So Kukoc, he was pretty much shut out that first game. But they had to meet for the gold medal. So the second time around when they met up for that gold medal, Kukoc was balling. And he was doing his thing. Of course, they didn't win it, but he's way better than what they thought. Because he was just like, we're going to have to meet them in the gold medal. So that's when we'll really play. Like, it made sense. You know, y'all the best team. And then the U.S. was definitely going to be there. They had NBA players, which they really wasn't a fair matchup. But he actually played better. He finished with 16 points, 9 assists. And MJ went in the locker room was like, hey, yeah, he's better than what we thought he was. Because Scottie had mentioned after the first game that he doesn't think he's tough enough to, you know, play in the NBA. But that's because him and Pippen pretty much played the same role. So it's like, of course, you got to go at the man trying to take your spot and let them know, hey, he can't take my spot. The U.S. goes on to win. And after that, they start giving praise to Kukoc because he ends up coming to the States and actually playing for the Chicago Bulls. So he's better than what they thought. And him being tough wasn't a question because what he was going through, his country was actually going through a war and he was living in poverty. Even though he was making more money in Croatia playing basketball than he would have in the NBA for his first couple of years. So the big controversy about winning the gold medal is Reebok did all the sponsoring. And what they said was, if any NBA player that's on the Olympic team, since we spent all this money for Barcelona, all this advertisement, they have to wear our Reebok gear. You know what I'm saying? So MJ's like, oh no, I wear Nike. I can't wear that Reebok. So if you look, MJ has a United States flag over his shoulder to cover up the Reebok symbol because he's a Nike player. He's not wearing Reebok and advertising it. So this was a way for him to get out of that and just doing advertisement for Reebok. Because if you think about it, MJ is the biggest person in the world at this point. 2 finals MVPs, two championships, 2 MVPs, defensive player, dunk contest. He's the biggest player in the world. If Reebok has a picture of him in that, then it's, oh, we can just advertise this as much as we want. And boom, 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 boom. Keep blowing up just off of this one picture. Like, MJ wears Nike, but he also wears Reebok. So he just didn't want to advertise it. Smart move, though, because no one's going to tell you, hey, take that American flag off. So Mike's last year was one of the biggest retirement years ever. They talking about, they opened up the Bulls Center for 1 hour and the whole season was sold out for this 98 season. It was so bad, the coach had to start limiting tickets. He said Jordan wanted 12 to 20 tickets a game. And then going on the road, it was even worse because the opposing players was taking all tickets and giving it to their family members. It was so big, Mike's pretty much a retirement. Like, they went to Georgia to play the Hawks. They put it in the Georgia Dome. 62,000 people showed up to a basketball game. I think the biggest basketball event was the All-Star game in 2010 out in Dallas, where they put it in the new stadium. Like, dog, everything was selling out. If MJ was going to be playing, it was selling out, man. This is one of the biggest retirements ever. And all the celebrities, every game, they're celebrity packed, man. MJ was the GOAT, man, for real. All right, that's episode 5, man. So we just recovered and recapping over what went on in Jordan's last season. I'm talking about, man, I'm tongue-tied because I actually got to see one game. It was a preseason game, but I didn't get to see no regular season game. I did see a preseason game. So comment below, did you get to see any of MJ's games in 98, in the 97-98 season? I seen a preseason game. I'm sure somebody watching this went to a game and they got memory. So they got a picture or something. Comment below if you did. But hey, that's episode 5. Thank you for watching. Episode 6 will drop tomorrow. Hey, I'm MoedotJ, and like I always say, hey, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell. Like, comment, share. Hey, thank you for watching. Follow me on my social media. It's MoedotJ on everything. And hey, be here tomorrow morning for episode 6. Thanks.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.